Hi cuties! And happy April Fools. I don't think I have any April Fool's jokes planned for you guys, so no need to worry, no jump scares, guaranteed. We'll never do that to you. Today though, it's time to pick our April TBR, and I'm not actually done with my March TBR yet. I'm currently filming this, obviously, earlier, in case you don't know how movie magic works. I cannot film and edit an entire day when I have a day job. So anyway, I still have some books left on my TBR, so I won't be rolling the punishment wheel just yet in case I don't finish, but I do feel like I will amazingly finish way over how many books. So I'm also not going to spend an exorbitant amount of time talking about all the books that I read. I go into more detail during my monthly vlog, so if you want to see more detail into those, check out the March vlog, which should come out next week, and you'll be able to see that. I will briefly go over a few of them and well, I'll go over all the ones that I have read thus far as of March 27th. Whoa. I don't even know my stats. I didn't even prepare anything. Oh my God. I'm just all over the place. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. So as of right now, I have finished 14 books and I still have 4 left to do, but they're all small books and I think I can do them in time. We will see, but if I do finish all of them, I will have finished 18 books in March. Whew. And a lot of them, some of them were not baby books. I had quite a few large books this time round. I'm going to do a quick little, here's the stats, because I did not prepare my stats at all. I have no idea how many pages it is. I have no idea how many of whatever and all that jazz. It's blah. I'm not prepared today. Is this the April Fool's joke? I'm just not prepared? No. That's just my life. I read a lot. I did a lot of things. So here, for your entertainment, is a little montage of the stats if you care about them. Welcome to the stats montage. Here's all the books I actually ended up reading, 21 in total, culminating in 7,469 pages and 140 hours listened via audiobook. I read 1 ebook, 7 physical reads, 3 hardcover and 4 paperback for those of you who care, and the remaining 13 were all audiobooks. I did a lot of driving this month. I actually read 2 middle grade books, or what I considered middle grade, 6 adult reads, and 13 young adult books. I managed to finish 3 series I'd been working on, continued 3 series I'm in the middle of, and started 5 new series and read 10 standalone novels. On average, it took me about 3.2 days to complete a book, which is the fastest I've been reading so far this year, and on average, I gave about 3.6 stars to the books. I had some good ones and some mediocre ones, and only a couple that really did not live up to my standards. I read mostly fantasy this month, no big shock there, with 10 fantasy reads, 4 contemporary, 3 sci-fi, 2 nonfiction, 1 horror, and 1 thriller. I read 11 books with LGBT representation in them, though only 6 of them were POV characters. And I only read 3 books written by BIPOC authors. And lastly, I read 2 indie books this month, 1 graphic novel, and 1 novella. And those are the stats. Back to me trying not to spend too long talking about all these books and failing miserably. So really quickly going into some of the books, the very first book that I actually read this month was the indie book of the month, which was Beastly by Jay Noble, and we have had, by this time, on the same day, we'll be filming this later, live stream with Ginny talking about the book, so I will let you guys go check that out for full review and everything. I think I gave it 3 stars. It's not my type of story. I definitely know that there is a market for this type of story. It's just a little bit more, raunchier paranormal romance than what I'm used to. Still fun. It's got a lot of potential because it will be a series, so I am looking forward to seeing what the next book is like. Then we read Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, and this was super fun. Really enjoyed this. And there's a sequel coming out called Husband Material, so I'm definitely going to be reading it. I do like the fact for this one, as opposed to, like, this gets compared with Red, White, and Royal Blue a lot, and they're very different stories. They just have very similar covers, and they both feature, you know, gay people. And there's a kind of fake dating trope in this one versus fake friends / enemies to lovers in Red, White, and Royal Blue. I know I keep pointing, but it's over there. It has a lot of differences. This has way less of the raunchy or sexy stuff, and it's more about their cutesy relationship as it builds from being fake to real and their own personal traumas and stuff. And I really like it that way. It was really good. I super enjoy it. Check it out, and I'm excited for the sequel. Next up, okay, so in the beginning of March, I had a bunch of books drop in my Libby app that I had been waiting for like months, and I didn't think they were gonna drop anytime soon, but all of a sudden they did. So we have like 4 extra books on this TBR, and the first one is Aurora's End by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And again, really like this. I know there is some problematic stuff with Jay Kristoff. I'm not entirely privy to all of that knowledge of it, but overall, I did enjoy this series. I do think I still like Illuminae more than I like the Aurora cycle. I do like where a lot of things end in this one. There is some problems that I didn't like, especially with the character of Zila. I didn't like how her story ends at all, and kind of her representation. I was a little miffed by that. That's my biggest issue with it. But I mean, my boyfriend, I do not think Finn should have been on the cover though. I honestly, as much as I love Finn, I love him so much, this book is not really his story. I feel like it would be more appropriate to put Tyler on the front of this one. I think he had a way bigger story arc than anyone else in the book. So I just disagree with the cover on that. But anyway, I think I talked about this. There's a lot of things I'm going to reiterate about you'll see in the March vlog. But anyway, I still did enjoy this, and I've completed that series. Then I read a nonfiction book. What? You reading nonfiction? That doesn't happen, but it does. It happened twice this month, actually, in different formats. But we have read The Anthropocene, reviewed by John Green. This is actually my first John Green book. I have never read any of his contemporaries because honestly, none of them have interested me. They all seem kind of pretentious and angsty and not my type of story, but I did want to read this, and I super enjoyed it. I really like the Vlogbrothers videos. They're actually part of the reason I started a YouTube channel all the way back in 2007 when they were first starting off in the Vlogbrothers realm. That's when I was just going to Japan, and my very early style of my videos from Japan when I was studying abroad in Akita, totally exactly Vlogbrothers style. My sister and I started a channel inspired by them that we don't do anymore because we live together now. There's a whole history of me and Vlogbrothers, and so this reads very much like Vlogbrothers videos. It's a bunch of essays all about living within the pandemic and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. It's very insightful. It shows some good things. I highly recommend the audiobook because there is some kind of interactive elements to it, and John Green reads it himself, so that's why it really feels like a Vlogbrothers video, but yay. So for this book, I goofed. In case you didn't see, I goofed. I made a horrible mistake and I regret it immediately. I originally picked The Ivory Key for my Middle Eastern read, and I'm like, no, India doesn't count as Middle Eastern. It's Asia, and it's India. It's a subcontinent of itself. Don't worry. I did not give myself the point for it. I still read the book. I was disappointed by it though. I just didn't connect with it. I didn't really connect with any of the characters in this. This is actually the first book of 2022 that's published in 2022 that I have now read, but I'm just, it didn't hold much to me. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. It's kind of meh. It's to each their own. There's nothing I can like viscerally say was wrong with this book or anything. I just didn't connect. Next book that I did, another one that dropped, was Steel Striker by Marie Lu. If you guys know, earlier in the year I read Sky Hunter. This is the sequel and duology. I do think I like Sky Hunter more than Steel Striker. I still really like Steel Striker though. There is something about Marie Lu and her ability to create these kind of dystopian worlds and just genre hop and stuff, and the way her writing style is, and just this utter feeling of hopelessness that you get in it, and seeing how in the hell these characters are going to rise. I do wish there had been spent some more time on some of the side characters, because I find their story also very interesting. While the main character stories are very interesting in this as well, I really wanted to see a bit more of some of the side characters, because I kind of forgot who was who in certain points, but I still really like this duology. It might not be my favorite of Marie Lu books, but it's definitely a great one. Is this the last one? I think this is the last one that dropped that I've been meaning to read forever, and that is Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater. Here's the weird thing about this book, and these books in general. I forget everything once they're over. I could not tell you right now what Call Down the Hawk, which is the first book in the Dreamer trilogy, this is the second one, and I cannot tell you what has happened in this one. But when I'm reading it, I am into these books. She has this beautiful writing style. Granted, it's read by Will Patton, I think, and I don't really like his speaking voice because it's distracting because he has the whistling S thing and it distracts me, but I still listen to them on audiobook. And I remember like really getting into this book and really liking it. I love the world that she has created here, but as soon as I'm done with it, it's like somebody has MIB flashed me and I have zero memory of what has happened in this book. I literally cannot tell you anything. Can I tell you one thing? Ronan's in it. I can't tell you a single thing. I can remember how I felt while reading it. So I think Maggie Stiefvater does some kind of witchcraft when you're reading these books. And it only works when you're reading it and not while you're holding it, I guess. It's weird. I know I enjoyed it. What is this magic? Next up, we read Swarm, and this baby was for the... Did anybody else have a card? Hold on. Boyfriend material, I forgot. Was the trash read. I forgot. I need to put the cards out. Okay, yeah, there we go. Nobody else has cards. We had Swarm, which was superheroes, was the card we pulled. This is kind of unconventional superheroes. I really liked the first book called Zeros. I didn't really get into this one as much. I'm not sure if I will even continue the trilogy. I need a debate with a lot of things. So if you want to see that debate live on all the series I'm in the middle of, this is one of them. I only have one book left of it, so I kind of want to know where it ends. It's a very grittier take on superheroes. I'm not sure I like all that much. And it deals a lot with like crowds and the psychology of crowds and things, and how their powers affect mass amounts of people or individuals, but it's mostly based on that thought process. But yeah, so I enjoyed parts of it. There was a lot of it I didn't like. There were some relationships that kind of got, I feel like, thrown in just out of nowhere that I wasn't really prepared for and didn't really feel any connection to, or any like foundation was being made to them. So I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan. I don't know if I'll continue to Nexus or not. Next up, physical read, we have Unlundun, which was the steampunk card with the sticker. So we do get to roll or spin the wheel of fortune here. Wheel of rewards. It's not quite traditional steampunk, but I am going to give it steampunk because steampunk is kind of involving alternative Londons and with the use of unconventional means, not necessarily just steam power stuff. There are definitely steampunk elements into this, but it is a very loose genre bend of steampunk. It's still really cool though. This is kind of, it's a middle grade written for adults, I would say. There's lots of interesting, you can see there's lots of interesting art within the book as well. This was just kind of, it turns over the chosen one trope, and I really, really enjoyed this. I kind of hope, well, I know it's not going to be because this was written back in like, what, 2007 or something. I really, really hope, though, I really want a sequel. I want to see more of the Unlondons and of the Parisans and all of these different takes on kind of opposite world of where you currently live. I wonder if Colorado would be. Colorado don't. I really like this. Definitely check this out. I think it's highly underrated. I know China Miéville is a pretty famous author, but even my sister, who is a big fan of China Miéville, hadn't heard of this book and hadn't read it. So I do recommend this one. Remember how I said I wasn't going to talk too much about all these books? Yeah. Next up was the book I read because I landed on the family friend pick, and Lena picked Buying Winged Chair. Can you tell I liked it? Can you tell? I really liked this. This is an indie retelling of Robin Hood with disability representation. Our main character does not have the use of her legs due to an accident, and there's magic in this and a little romance in it, and it's so fun. I read this basically in a day. Like, I had started it at a night and I had to go to bed, and I just had to force myself, so I read like 25 pages and I was already hooked, and then I read the entire rest of the book the next day because I was just obsessed and I loved it and I want to read more of this. Guys, pick this book up. It is by Kendra Merritt. I don't think I told you guys that before, but absolutely loved this book so much. And another book that I absolutely loved so much is by no surprise because it is a Marissa Meyer book, but that is Gilded, and the card for this one was shiny card indeed. Gilded is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I love Cyrilda so much. Like, she just lies out of her ass all of the time and it's so freaking funny, and I love her and Gild. I love their relationship. I hate the elf, or the Earl King. I mean, I love him, but I hate him. And this took some unexpected turns at the end. Like, a lot of this, like, you kind of know where it's going, and then it does this other thing to you at the end that just is heart-wrenching. And trigger warnings, though, there are child deaths in this. Just FYI. I absolutely loved this book. I could gush on it for hours. I even was searching for anyone who did like fan art or anything on Tumblr, just trying to find a community that also loves Gilded so much. I just love it. Again, Marissa Meyer, much like Marie Lu and Elizabeth Lim, are just the writers that know exactly what I want in a story, and they give it to me every single time. Yeah. Next up we have The Wood by Chelsea Bobulski, and this was the no RSTLNE card. I did not count the in this because this was literally the only one I could think of that would work, and I went into this thinking it was not going to be that great and it was just going to be kind of a little mystery thriller. Total change. This was actually much better than expected. It has a time travel element, it has some magic-y elements to it, some fae, and it was just unexpected. This cover does not do it justice. I go into that in the vlog a little bit about what I want for this cover, but this looks like it's going to be a murder thriller slasher thing or whatever, right? It's not. It's very much paranormal, magical realism kind of stuff with time travel elements. I do wish, now there is, I took away some stars because there is a thread that is left hanging for us about a certain elixir with one of the characters, and I want that explained, and I also want to see what happens with them because I know what should happen to those characters. I know exactly how you keep them in this better situation, adapting to these newfound things that have happened by the end. I know. But she doesn't do that, and I'm kind of mad about that situation. But yes, anyway, I was very pleasantly surprised by The Wood. Check it out. Then we have regained the Middle Eastern card. We have regained this because I completely blitzed that I owned the complete Persepolis, which is set in Iran and some of Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe? Western Europe? I don't know geography, as proven by the point, okay? But this is the story of the author. This is also a non-fiction story. It's 4 volumes of the graphic novel in one compendium, all about her life growing up in Iran in the 1980s during a lot of wars and things, and her life just growing up being an Iranian girl and experiencing both life in Iran and outside Iran and back in Iran, and it goes over a lot of very emotional things, very traumatic things. I liked the first 2 volumes, I think, the most. I didn't really like much of when she was an adult. It just didn't hit the same way. And then where the whole graphic novel kind of ends, I wasn't satisfied with it. I'm like, it's weird because she's a real person and she's currently living her life elsewhere. But I was like, I wanted a full narrative, full arc of it, and wanting to see almost like a little epilogue of where people have ended up to the point of her publishing this book kind of thing. It is a very important story. I highly recommend it. Check it out. But that also got me another spin. So we have 2 spins. And the last book I have finished so far this month is The Project by Courtney Summers. This was a TBR theft, which we stole from 4 Paws and a Book. Brianna over there. I don't actually think Brianna knows who I am, though, at all. So there's that. But the project, now this has a lot of mixed reviews. I actually really enjoyed this. It kind of deals with the investigation of a cult because our main character Lo is looking for her sister B, who was taken in by this cult when she was had just suffered a car accident, and her parents had both died, and Lo was in the hospital, and so B gets kind of swept up by this guy who is basically running a cult, and she goes with them to the Unity Project, and she's kind of wants to be a journalist as well, or a writer, and starts investigating because somebody also has a relation that she sees in the project, and she ends up getting further into the project and trying to uncover all their culty aspects of life. It's very interesting. I really liked it. It does have a bittersweet ending to it, and there's a point in it where you're just like, why would you do this? Why? But also, that's the thing about how cults work. If you don't know how they work, like they prey on people who are weak and low self-esteem, and when you're at your lowest, they're there to pick you up, and then you're sucked in before you know what's happening. And that's kind of this wide journey that we go on with this book, and I really did enjoy it. Well, I can't say I enjoyed it, but like I enjoyed reading it, and it just was a very interesting book. Hello again. I realized I forgot that I also mentioned too that I finished When Night Breaks, which was, I don't even know, did it have a thing? This was TBR bag. This was a TBR bag. I finished this one too. More on the vlog, but also, yes, When Night Breaks, finished. This was okay. I liked it. It's fine. Yeah. Those are the books that I have finished. I have 4 left, which I anticipate finishing. So I'm reading Peter Pan right now. I'm physically reading this. I should finish it soon. We have This Winter still to read. It's just so short that I know I'll get it done in a half an hour. Also currently listening to Foolish Hearts right now. I am almost halfway through it, I would say. But that is my card for a Shakespeare retelling. This Winter was a seasonal read. Peter Pan is my classic. And then we have Anna and the Apocalypse, which I believe was also a multiple deaths card in theory, but I could literally put multiple deaths in another book if this doesn't pan out. But these are the books that I have left. These are the 4 books that I have left to read. Hopefully I finish them. Find out if I did in the March vlog, and if I don't worry, I will roll myself a punishment. It will happen. With that being said, we completed 2 with the stickers. We get to roll the wheel of rewards. Sorry again, sorry for lighting. I don't have the best lighting in this house. Here we go with rolling the wheel of rewards. What did I get? Ooh, discard a prompt. So if I don't like the prompt, I can get rid of it. Ah. Pre-order! I get to pre-order a book. Okay, so we get to pre-order a book, which is actually perfect timing because there was a recent pre-order for, shoot, I forget who did it. It was either, I think it was Fairy Loot, but there is a pre-order for Holly Black's new book, Book of Night. So we're gonna pre-order Book of Night. And in the special edition of it. Hooray! There's my pre-order. It doesn't go on the TBR, obviously, because it doesn't come out till like May, but ayo! We will also, yes, once again be doing Easter egg pre-order hunt. So the pre-order egg hunt that I did last year, we will be doing that again. Fear not. But I do get to discard a prompt if I don't like the prompt, which is nice. So I think that's all we have to do. We can check in. We are close to hitting a punishment on the icon hit count if we land on friend again. But otherwise we're pretty safe, pretty chill. Let's hope that this month, though, does not give me 12 books immediately. Also, for the indie book this month, it's still kind of up in the air between 2 books. We have either New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson, which actually has appeared on the candidate sheet before, and we also have No More Black Magic by A.L. Kessler. So I think New World Rising is beating it by 1 point at this time, so I'm probably going to be using this book. I'm going to set it right here so I don't forget about it. We shall see if we end up putting it on there. I do have lots of books that I want to be putting on this. I'm trying to prioritize a lot of series as well. To try to finish those and prioritize all of the new 22 books, the 22 of 2022, because I didn't read a single 22 of 2022 in March. Not a single one made that list. But I also have a bunch of new releases that I also want to try to prioritize. I have a lot of different priorities and they all are equally important. Let's roll and see how many books are on the April TBR. Let's take our D12. How many books on the April TBR? Ah, 5? Oh, 5 is fine. 5 books, nice, not so horrendous. We're gonna do 5 rolls today and see where we end up. Let's do roll number 1. All right, roll number 1. Here's where Courtney goes. Where's that? 4? 4, which is actually where we are. I think we ended up on this blue book last time. Okay, so we stay right on 4. And we're moving 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the little pink book. Let's see, we're gonna go with this card right here. A shelf roll! Okay. We drew shelf rolls. So basically, I'm going to random number generate because I don't have a dice big enough to actually roll that. For all of the shelves that we have, they're overflowing. I did just get some more books that are here. So with all the shelves that I have here, I'm just going to label them 1 through, I think I have 30 shelves. No, wait. We have 33 shelves that we actually can pull from because of the classic shelves up there. So I'm going to quickly do that on my computer and then we'll be back. Just so that it's like on camera because my phone is recording the dice, so I don't want to remove it. I have 33, generate 10. 10. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is the hyped shelf. This is where all the biggest books that are all super hyped come out to play. So let's see. What book do we want to read? We're gonna go sci-fi. So I have chosen Red Rising by Pierce Brown. A lot of people know this series. A lot of people love this series. I know I said I was trying to prioritize finishing series, not starting them, but I want to read this. I want to know what the hype is all about Red Rising. When did this actually come out? In 2013 is when this book actually came out. So it's been around for a bit, and yeah, everybody seems to really love it. So we're gonna try and get in with the cool crowd. Here's the plot summary for Red Rising, if any of you don't know it. It's very short. His wife taken, his people enslaved. Driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. For the first time, Red will rise. That tells me nothing. I know nothing. Red Rising, number 1. Roll number 2. Let's see where we end up. 3. Moving the baby up here. We are in danger of that. There we go. Oh, that's not flat. What did I get? 7. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a mood read. 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 We get to read a mood read. I know I should prioritize the 22 of 2022, but I don't really want to. And I should also prioritize all of these books, the new releases. But I don't want to. Because I've been talking about reading this book for a while, and we're gonna read this book. Another sci-fi. We're gonna read Cytonic! Yay! I finally get to read Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. It's the 3rd book in the Skyward series. It's the last one I need to read right now because the final book, Nowhere, it might be the final book, I don't know, it's Brandon Sanderson. We can't trust him anymore. Yes, I'm gonna read Cytonic. Yay! After 3 months of saying, I want to read Cytonic, I want to read Cytonic, I want to read Cytonic, we're reading Cytonic. Here is the plot. Possible spoilers if you haven't read the first 2 books. Spence's life as a defiant Defense Force pilot has been far from ordinary. She proved herself one of the best starfighters in the human enclave of Detritus, and she saved her people from extermination at the hands of the Krell, the enigmatic alien species that has been holding them captive for decades. What's more, she traveled light years from home as an undercover spy to infiltrate the Superiority, where she learned of the galaxy beyond her small, desolate planet home. Now, The Superiority, the governing galactic alliance bent on dominating all human life, has started a galaxy-wide war, and Spensa has seen the weapons they plan to use to end it, the Delvers. Ancient, mysterious alien forces that can wipe out entire planetary systems in an instant. Spensa knows that no matter how many pilots the DDF has, there is no defeating this predator. Except that Spensa is cytonic. She faced down a Delver and saw something eerily familiar about it. And maybe, if she's able to figure out what she is, she could be more than just another pilot in this unfolding war. She could save the galaxy. The only way she can discover what she really is, though, is to leave behind all she knows and enter the nowhere, a place from which few ever return. To have courage means facing fear, and this mission is terrifying. I'm really excited about this. I read all the little novellas this last year, too, and it's just like, I love this world so much. Okay, anyway, roll number 3. 3! All right, we're staying on 3. Shoot. So, we move nowhere. Whoa. 10. Is that a 10? That's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is another mood read. Which also, I realize what I need to do, by the way. Hi, I'm stupid. Remember that? April Fools, I'm really smart. No, that's not the joke. I need to put my icons on there. I now need to put 2 stickers on the icon hit counters for mood read. We've now hit it twice. Now that we at least have Cytonic on there, we're gonna go to the big important shelf. This is a new release this year. I was super excited about it. It's absolutely gorgeous, but that is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And this is a chunk. This is a 500-page chunk, but it's, just look at it. Look at this beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's find out what it's about. Growing up on the moon, Xingyin is accustomed to solitude, unaware that she is being hidden from the feared celestial emperor who exiled her mother for stealing the elixir of immortality. But when Xingyin's magic flares and her existence is discovered, she is forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. Alone, powerless, and afraid, she makes her way to the celestial kingdom, a land of wonder and secrets. Disguising her identity, she seizes an opportunity to train alongside the emperor's son, mastering archery and magic, even as passion flames between her and the prince. To save her mother, Xinyin embarks on a perilous quest, confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies. However, when treachery looms and forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, she must challenge the ruthless celestial emperor for her dream, striking a dangerous bargain in which she is torn between losing all she loves and plunging the realm into chaos. So, this should be super fun, and I'm excited to read it. Yay, it's also a debut. Huzzah, 2 mood reads. Ooh, what a thunk. What a time. Also, it's starting a series. I'm not doing bad. Roll number 4, and hopefully we get off of this very dangerous row. 6, I get to choose. We get to choose. We get to choose. We get to choose. Let's go to 5. I feel safer. I'm safer on 5. Going 5. Going to 5. 5. Down here. What do we get? 2? I rolled a 2. 1, 2. Easy peasy. Pulling from this card. Wah! Authortuber. Okay. I have a cheat that I'm not going to do. But I will be reading Den of Sparrows by Hala this month as kind of an alpha reader. So I could count that. But I also want to get books off of this shelf. I'm still going to read Hala's book, obviously, now that my TBR is only 5 books long. It'll be fine. So the only other one that I physically have is probably Alexa Dunn. I have an arc of Stars We Steal, and then I have Brightly Burning. They're both sci-fi, and since I've owned this one longer, I think I should do that one probably. We're gonna go with the Stars We Steal, and this is Engagement season is in the air. Whoa. Engagement season is in the air, but 18-year-old Princess Leonie Leo Kohlberg, heir to a faded European spaceship, has more problems than figuring out what dress to wear. Her father and sister are on the brink of spending the last of their family fortune, and having no money means Leo can't afford to patent and sell her latest invention. With no other options, Leo now has one thing on her mind: which lucky bachelor can save her family from financial ruin? But when Leo's childhood friend and first love Elliot returns as the captain of a successful whiskey ship, everything changes. Elliot was the one who got away, the boy Leo's family deemed to be unsuitable for marriage. Now he's the biggest catch of the season, and he seems determined to make Leo's life miserable. But old habits die hard, and as Leo navigates the glittering balls of the Valg season, she finds herself falling for Elliot all over again in a game of love, lies, and past regrets. The Bachelorette goes to space in this gripping story about a young girl caught in a world of royal intrigue and romance. That feels very Persuasion, actually. I wonder if this is considered a Persuasion retelling. Doesn't say it, but like, I get mad Persuasion vibes from this. So there we go. So yeah, so Alexidon is an author-tuber. So that goes in there. Final roll. All right, let's do this. 2. We go. Where do you end up? I'm gonna put you on the TBR bag. I think that makes the most sense. And 10. Oh no, I'm so scared. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess it's TBR bag danger? No, TBR bag's okay. We could have hit TBR bag and been fine. Boom. Music. Music. Can we read one that has a heavy music setting and plot to it? I don't know what this is. This is another new release of 2022. That is When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord. I like Emma Lord books a lot. I've read all, this is her 3rd book now, and this involves Broadway stuff. Music. There you go. So let's see what this one is. Nothing will get in the way of Millie Price's dream of becoming a Broadway star. Not her lovable but super introverted dad, who has raised Millie alone since she was a baby. Not her drama club rival Oliver, who is the very definition of simmering romantic tension. And not her Millie moods, the feelings of intense emotion that threaten to overwhelm. Millie needs an ally, and when an accidentally left open browser window brings Millie to her dad's embarrassingly moody live journal from 2003, Millie knows just what to do. Find her mom. But how can you find a new part of your life and expect it to fit into your old one without leaving any marks? And why is it that when you go looking for the past, it somehow keeps bringing you back to what you've had all along? So Emma Lord does really good kind of combos between like familial relationships and romantic stuff as well. So I am excited to see where we go with this one. We do need to pick our classic of the month though, and add our indie book, so let's draw for our classic. What classic are we reading? What classic are we reading? Please be something nice. Oh, okay. I'm already not a fan of this. I've seen the movie, and I'm not a fan of it. It's The Great Gatsby. Luckily, this is short. Fine. 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 A realm of a world, like, I don't tend to like a lot of books set in the 1920s. During Prohibition and stuff, because that is the height of all the things that I don't care for, like drinking and drugs and sex and things. Those are not my things. And so now to read it in a classic that I already know ends really dumbly. There we go. There's the TBR, much more manageable than last month. So we have 7 full books on this TBR, 5 from the game, indie, and a classic. Ta-da! So yeah, there's the books. Not a lot of cards pulled, and we almost had to do punishment. Again, I will roll a punishment. I'll do it on the vlog probably if I don't complete March's TBR, but we're on track, I think. I think I can do this. I think I can. What are you guys reading in April? Let me know in the comments below. What did you guys read in March? Let me know all of it. Or on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. You can catch me on Ko-fi as well if you want to support me as a content creator. Catch me over on Twitch, streaming on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the most part, but I just started a new job, so I don't know what's going to be happening with the streaming schedule, but lots of things are happening in that sense. And I will see you next time, cuties. Bye. and April Fool's Day. I keep wanting to say absolute boyfriend, but that is a J-drama. It's boyfriend material. We stole from... Hopefully... Oh, camera. Focus on my face. Focus. There we go. So we drew shelf roll. Oh, I guess I haven't actually done anything. Okay, hold on. She must challenge the ruthless celestial empire... This is the April Fool's joke that the TBR game has played on me, right? I don't actually have to read this? Yes, I do.